Swain touchdown.
It's time. It's time. It's Swain Event time.
My man.
It is time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. This is real sports talk for the real sports fan. Talk to him, Swain.
Get into his house and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, joined by my guy, Seth Stokes. I'm live in the Low T Central Studio. Hope everyone is having a fabulous Tuesday, September the 16th. Man, we don't have much time. We got to get straight to it. Stokes, what's up, my man? You all right?
I am here. I am above the ground, which is always a blessing. I am gainfully employed, have a beautiful family, always a blessing. There's a lot of good in my life right now. Saturday night was not one of them. Was not one of those times, but that's okay because we can talk about it, we can work through it, and you know what? In this this new age of college football, I talked about last week, this game doesn't necessarily mean the season is over. It doesn't mean the hunt for the end goal is over. But dang it, if it doesn't hurt like hell.
Yeah, it's supposed to hurt. That means you care. Emotionally, we all invested. Players, emotionally and physically. And I thought they laid it out on the line. I thought they gave their all for Tennessee. And that's the one thing we always asked them to do. It's what we expect, and they gave us that. There's a lot of great plays made in the game, Stokes. There's a lot of bad plays made in the game, which is why you lost. And when you're playing against a really good team, it's going to come down to a few plays late in the game. If you are unable to make it and your opponents make it, you're walking away with an L, and that's what happened for Tennessee. But, I mean, a lot of emotional takes I saw on Saturday, Stokes, Sunday. A lot of emotions talking.
Hey, there was some emotions going, man, and I was part of it. I didn't understand some of the thought processes behind the play calling in certain areas.
Let's talk about it.
Even Sunday, even yesterday, I was still a little confused. Like,
what you got? Let's talk about it, Stokes.
Yeah, let's discuss it. So my overall thoughts are that Tennessee is a good football team.
Okay.
I think Tennessee is going to win a lot of games this year if they continue to improve upon what we saw on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they were unlucky in a couple of spots. Aguilar, he played a really good football game.
Yep.
He made he made one bad decision with the football, and that was throwing into double coverage on his first pick.
Mm-hmm.
That ball never should have been thrown there. It should have been defensive pass interference, in my opinion, but you can't depend on the refs to always make the right call. We know that.
Yeah.
That ball never should have been thrown. So the second interception where he was going to Staley, look, the ball was thrown on time. He was trying to throw Staley, and when he was coming out of his break, Staley slips.
You can't slip.
You can't slip. And that's not, to me, that was not on Aguilar. That was just an unlucky, unfortunate happening.
For Aguilar.
For Aguilar.
Yeah.
And for Staley.
No, that's technique. Can't slip.
That's technique? Okay.
That's technique.
All right.
Can't
if
slip.
That's technique, then that's on. I mean, you would know. So that's on Staley, and that sucks.
I listen. I love Staley, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. What it is. If I was if I was his big brother, if I was his position coach, if I was someone close to him, I would tell him the same thing. You can't slip. Your job as a receiver is to be able to change directions without slipping. You got to have your shoulders over your toes. You got to have great body balance. You got to drop your hips. I mean, you can't slip. That's why.
Tennessee gets a sack fumble late in the game in their own territory. And this is where everybody, I think, comes apart, right?
I got you.
So they come out on offense, and Georgia is begging them to run the football. Georgia's lining up in formations where you kind of looking at it. If you know ball a little bit, you're like, man, hand that thing off, pick up 6, 7, 8 yards. And if I'm not mistaken, did Bishop slip, if I'm not mistaken, on one of those?
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of screwed you up a little bit. After that, I don't know. You had 3 plays. I think on at least one of those. You and I, we texted about this. Like it's you thought, and that's my. I don't think in that situation, when I say you go for the throat or you got to take a shot. I'm not talking about just launching one into the end zone in that situation and seeing what happens. I'm talking about running your offense like the way you've been running it, to not flawlessly, obviously, but with some success. And to me, they shrunk just a little bit. Now, on that last run, where Heupel is all mad, there was something funky there. And I don't know if it was, hey, the play call was there and someone misses a block or doesn't get all of a block, which blows the play up early and doesn't allow for the back to get loose like they thought he would. And he gets held up a little bit, and the backers get a chance to close on him right out of the hole. Or it was an option and the wrong decision was made. Like, I don't know. I'm not in the huddle. I'm not part of the play call. I don't know. But outside looking in, outside perception is Tennessee kind of shrunk in that moment a little bit. And you settled for 3. But then in that point of the game, even with an 8-point lead, you should win the ball game. You should still win the ball game. I looked at my wife and I was like, well, that sucked, but we're at 8 now. I'm still feeling okay. You don't expect Georgia to make maybe play of the year on a 4th down to score. And then you're still like, all right, well, they still got to convert the 2-point conversion. And then what do? You let the fastest player on their daggone football team stand wide open alone in the corner of the end zone. Who man was that? Whose man was that? Not you don't let the one guy you pay attention to on that play is standing with nobody around him. He just kind of walks over there and looks around like, I'm open. You gonna throw me the ball? That sequence, I think, made me more mad than the play calling, or how things were executed after the fumble. The more I think about it, that is what has me a little more upset about the loss. And I'm not even the kick is what the kick was. I mean, that's. You won scholarship to make that kick. He made the one in OT. He makes that kick more often than not. Like I'm not mad at him. He shouldn't have been put in that situation to begin with, but he was, and he's on scholarship to go in there and make the kick. But there were so many other things that led up to that that's just icing on the failure cake.
Yeah. So let's talk about the 3 runs there in the 4th quarter after Joshua Joseph did a great job of winning his one-on-one battle, getting to the football, stripping it, and us recovering it. Let's keep in mind the penalties for the entire game. 10 penalties, 82 yards. That's a touchdown drive. Okay?
Yep.
10 penalties. Multiple pass interference penalties. You had 2 on the same drive where Georgia was backed up at one point of the game. And that hurt you. But anyway, let's go back to that particular sequence, because everyone likes to say Hype was playing to lose, and
that to me is a silly statement.
It's silly.
No coach is coaching to lose or calling plays to lose. They're doing what they think is right in that situation.
Yeah, I saw one that was comparing him to Butch Jones, which is probably the most simpleton take I've seen in a long time. But anyways, let's go talk about that. The penalties, 10 penalties, 82 yards. The first play was a penalty. You had a false start. So 1st and 10 is now 1st and 15. Your play call is different when you pick up a penalty on the first play of the possession. Normally, after a sudden change like that, with a turnover, normally the best time to take a shot to the end zone is right there. But you had 2 high safeties. You had 6 dudes in the box. The numbers are telling you to run the football. When you said Georgia was begging you to run the football, that's what you mean. This offense is a numbers game. You have wide splits to make it easy to determine whether you should run, whether you should pass. 2 high safeties, 6 dudes in the box. You have 6 dudes blocking. You got to block it. And unfortunately, we slipped that running back. A 2-3 yard gain should have been at least a 6 or 7 yard gain. At least. And then the next play should have been enough to pick up the first down if guys would have blocked correctly. So on 2 plays, before the first down play, and the second down play, 3 times in a row, players didn't execute. But it's on Heupel because he's being conservative. I mean, I'm sorry. I can't side with that. As a player, I understand I have a job to do, and I would feel terrible if my coach was taking blame for me not doing my job. Like, I felt so terrible when Pat Washington got fired because we didn't do our jobs. We didn't. Well, you block it correctly, you don't false start, you're picking up a first down on probably 2 of those runs. And if you don't, it's 3rd down and short. And if you don't there, it's 4th down and short. There's no way that should have been 3rd down and long in that situation. Now, my thing about passing it on one of those 3 downs, I'm okay with that option. I probably would have. My biggest question was if your receivers are hot and on fire, Chris Brazzell's hot and on fire, why are we not going to him?
Right.
More in that 4th quarter. Where was the targets to Mike Matthews? Where was the targets to a sizzling passing group when you put in the tight ends along with the wide receivers? Like, we was cooking. The receivers and tight ends in the passing game were the reasons why you had a chance to win that game, because no one saw Tennessee putting up 40-something points. Like, no one saw that. But that was the reason why Tennessee had an opportunity to win that football game. So I'm okay, honestly, with the play calling in that moment because the numbers told you to run the football. It did.
Numbers told you to run the football, and you have an opportunity, if you're successful with running the football, to run time off the clock as well.
Yes.
Which further limits what Georgia can do if you are successful.
Can I stop you right quick?
Yes,
I need to see more Star Thomas.
brother, you and me both.
I mean, if I had any gripe, it's personnel. Like, I think Star Thomas has proven to be the best back right now.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
He's your number 1 back.
So Star Thomas probably ain't slipping and falling. Star Thomas is showing you that he can make guys miss. He got the spin move. I don't like it just coming off like I'm calling players out. But I don't like when people just point the finger at coaches. Like the coaches are playing the video games or something and they control the players. Like, they don't do that. Their job is to put you in the position to make the play, and then you have to make the play. I got an example for you. And I'm going to let you finish, man.
Oh, you're good, man.
Because I know if I don't get to it now while we're on this topic, time's going to go by and I'm not going to get to it.
Talk about it.
First quarter, Tennessee is cooking. It's 21-7. Second quarter was the worst quarter for Tennessee. Georgia answers as 21-14. I got it written down. It's 21-14. And Tennessee has the ball with a chance to go down and answer in the score. It is first down and 10. We did not pick up a yard. And now it is second and 10. We run a run. We bounce it to the left. It's wide open, man. It's wide open. The whole left side collapses. We got the sideline. A secondary player feels the alley, comes up, tackles us in space. 2 arms around 2 feet, like a damn rodeo. It's a gain of 3. I'm looking at myself. Oh, I just put my head down, and start shaking my head. Because
I think I sent you a text when that happened too.
You sent me a text?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was like, yo, we got to get more than 3 yards on that. We got to get more than 3. Like, we got to go get a first down. That thing was wide open.
The play before that as well, if the player catches the football, there's nobody in front of him. The blocking was where it was supposed to be because it was a screen out to the right. And the ball's thrown a little behind the back, and it bounces off his fingers. It was still a forward pass technically, but the ball bounced off his fingers. But if he catches that, turns around, again, green grass and opportunity.
Yeah. And so it's 3rd and 7 off that run, 2nd and 10. Only picked up 3, and then you had to wind up and punt. Like, you got to pick up that first down. We had 3 drives in the second quarter where we didn't score any points. Those plays are not going to be talked about, but that's what stood out to me. It's like those little plays that make the difference in games like this. Everyone's going to talk about the kick. Everyone's going to talk about Josh Heupel's 3 runs there. But I see opportunities like that where you got to make dudes miss in space. If it's you and another defender and you got 5 to 7 yards to work with, you got to make him miss. Mm-hmm. It's just that simple.
Yep.
Or at least give me 2 or 3 yards after contact, at least. So that was an issue for me. All right, go ahead and finish your point, and then we'll get to the phones. We got some people waiting on the line.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to remember where I was going with that. That's one of my biggest gripes about that sequence after the fumble was the false start.
Yep.
I don't know how you get a false start off of a change of possession like that for the first play. That's unacceptable.
Yep.
Not just running your offense. Like, I get if you're successful there, you run clock, you put yourself in a better situation to get closer to the end zone, all that stuff. Like, I get it. I understand the thought process behind it. And it's low risk as well. It's low risk, and you don't want to turn the ball right back over. Like, I understand.
Yep,
but to your point, your receivers were red hot. Aguilar was playing very well. You got to give your guys a chance to go do that, especially after the first 2 plays were not successful. But when you have numbers, you want to run the football. You're 100% correct. My biggest gripe for the entire game, though, is when you get it down to a granular level, and you kind of just touched on this a second ago. We didn't make enough one-on-one plays to win that game, and Georgia's players did. They had more one-on-one tackles in space than Tennessee did. Tennessee missed more tackles from the secondary in that game than I've seen in a long time. That surprised me more than anything. Like, you knew Redmond was going to get picked on a little bit. He's a freshman. He's going to get some guys that are really, really good players, and they picked on him a little bit. And, he did okay. Like, he's going to be a good player for Tennessee.
He will be.
He will be. Our secondary situation is what it is thanks to injuries, and you go with the dudes you got and you try to make the best of it.
Yep.
What I was most disappointed with was not necessarily the coverage. It was the fact that when you had an opportunity to bring a guy down after a very short gain, they made you look foolish. And they made you look a little weak because they were running through your tackles.
I'm going to the phone, Stokes. I know people have some thoughts.
Yep.
We'll get to those thoughts. Let's do it. 865-250-503, Guards of Law Hotline. Good morning.
Good morning. It's DZ in Milwaukee. How we doing?
What's up, DZ?
Man, a little disappointed, but not discouraged. Not discouraged. A lot of good things to take out of the game. I kind of echo everything both of you fellas have been saying this morning. I think Seth just hit the most major point on the head, which is we just couldn't make the one-on-one plays on either side of the ball that Georgia could to get the job done. I think my three major pet peeves from the game where you guys have been talking about it this whole time was the drive right after the turnover. If we have the correct running back in the game, I feel like we could have taken more advantage of that turnover, of that change of possession. I thought Bishop was chopping his feet when there were gargantuan holes on both of those first two plays. Actually, all three. Even the third play, I felt like there was a large enough hole that if we had the correct personnel in, as you guys were just saying, that we are able to at least get one first down at worst and run some more time off the clock. That was one pet peeve. A second one is during that drive, and then even after, Georgia tied the game, the cameras are panning to the sideline, and they're just talking about Max Gilbert the whole time. What's ticking me off this whole time is every time they pan to him on the camera, there's somebody else in orange every 5 seconds coming up to him, patting him on the shoulder. Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Essentially icing him out, instead of, normally you want to let the kicker get his little practice kicks off, leave him alone, let him clear his head, and then let him come out and trot the kick. But like I said, every time they pan to him on the sidelines, there's somebody new in his ear, patting him on his helmet or making sure he's okay, as if he's not already, thinking about how much, how big this kick that he needs to make will be. And then the third thing was the Mike Matthews drop on the first play in overtime.
That was not a good ball.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't a great ball.
It wasn't a good ball. It wasn't a good ball.
It wasn't. I agree. It wasn't. But it did also hit him in both his hands, and I know for a fact that you would have caught that ball. I'm not blaming the whole game on the kid. Obviously.
Yeah, I'm not putting that on Mike Matthews, man. High and hot on a shallow cross when you never practice it that way. I mean, yeah, that ball wasn't a good ball.
Could have been much better. Yeah, it could have been much better.
Just,
yeah.
I understand the adage, hey man, if you touch your hands, you got to catch it. But I'm surprised he got his hands up to get his hands on the ball.
That ball came out so hot.
It was too hot, man. It was too hot.
Yeah, it was hot. Yeah, and we definitely didn't block up well at all those entire three plays in overtime. So obviously didn't give ourselves a chance to win in overtime either. So, like I said, disappointed but not discouraged. I mean, there's a lot of good things to take out of the the film, but like Seth said, man, you got to get in the games like this. You got to make those 101 plays, and everybody didn't do them. Brazel had several. Some of our captains on defense in one-on-one situations getting one cut. I didn't think, Carter had a ton of tackles, but I didn't think he showed up on film very well, to be honest. And again, some of those one-on-one situations. And, that's things in the past that, two out of these last 3 years when we beat Bama, we made those plays. So,
yeah.
I don't know. They'll get better. Like I said, I'm not discouraged. A lot of good things to take out of it, but you had it right there at home, and and let it slip away. So,
No, 100% Deezy. Well, I appreciate the phone call, my man. It's good. It's
all
good.
right.
It's good to hear from
Uh,
you. 865-255-03. Yeah, I don't count that as a drop for Mike Matthews. That was too hot. It was too high. That
What
shallow.
about the one earlier in the game where I think it was on a third down? It was thrown a little bit behind Staley.
Oh
He can't
yeah,
come up with
going
it.
towards the north end zone.
Yeah,
I
I
think it
think
was.
I put that one on Staley. I mean, it was thrown behind him, but I don't know, man. That one was real close to his body and his hands.
It's a back shoulder. I think if you Staley,
Yeah.
you want to make that catch.
Hmm.
But if you Aguilar, you want to make it a little bit easier for the receiver. I
For
think
sure.
as a receiver, you say, yeah, I got to make that catch. I just think the Mike Matthews one is tougher. Like you're literally 5 yards away, and when you're running those shallow crosses, you're running basically at the feet of the defensive lineman in between them and the linebackers, and Joey Aguilar ain't 6'6", so sometimes you don't even see the quarterback. You just kind of see the ball, and so you're in traffic. That ball needs to be kind of laid out in front of him and not high so he can catch and run without slowing up. And so, I mean, we had somebody calling Josh and Swain was like, man, Mike Matthews dropping all the passes. I'm like, Travis Smith dropped that one because he got smacked. That wasn't Mike Matthews. And Mike Matthews on the shallow cross, that wasn't on him. I'm sorry. Now, the first game, he had 2 drops. And one of them was a short. The ball was low and short, but still you catch it. And then the other one, he kind of mistimed his jump on the out route, comeback route, off play action on the sideline, and he didn't jump high as he could have, and that was a drop. But I'm not looking at any drops from Mike Matthews against Georgia. All right, let's go back to the phone. We got some more action over here. Good morning.
Good morning, Swain. This is Dustin.
What's up, Dustin?
Oh, not much, man. Hey, I agree with what y'all been saying this morning. I find it hard to second guess, Coach Heupel and kind of on anything anymore that he does, man. I tell you what, if you told me last week before we kicked off Saturday, we was gonna score 38 points on Georgia, I'd have said we're gonna win the ball game.
Well, I am second guessing the fact we ain't throw the ball to some of the hot receivers more than in the second half. But other than that,
I'm talking about everybody saying, well, you shouldn't have run the ball 3 times. Well,
okay.
Let's think about it.
Yeah.
Let's think about it. You get a false start.
Yep.
That puts you behind the chains 5 yards.
Yep.
What have we known about this offense ever since he's been here? Anytime he gets put behind the chains, it just don't move. It don't move the same way as if it's a 1st and 10. For whatever reason, that 1st and 15 kills the offense.
Most offenses.
So he tries to go for the 3 runs, whatever. But I look at that and I think, okay, well we went up by 8. Okay, so then we shift the focus to the defense. Well, what did we say about last year about Heupel in the Oklahoma game?
Yeah.
Well, he's matured so much as a coach.
That's right.
He realized that his offense wasn't doing so great, so he was going to throw it back on his defense.
Yep.
Well, what did we go into this game saying about Tim Banks' defense? Well, they're going to be aggressive. They're going to go get it. Well, they did. They did everything they said. Now, look, I thought we did really. I thought our offense looked the best it had looked in a long time Saturday.
Yep.
And I'm sure we could have been a little more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my thing. You were number 1. I heard you talk about it all week last week. I was sitting on my couch Saturday, and when they scored that touchdown, I said, on that 2-point conversion, I said they either need to call a timeout or somebody has to find number 1.
Yeah.
You got to know where 1's at.
They knew where it was.
So listen.
They didn't lose it.
So listen, here's what I want to ask you because you know this better than anybody, right? So we're in man coverage, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. They bring him in motion.
Yep.
As a defense.
Short motion.
As a defense, that guy that's up front on the line,
mm-hmm.
where are you going to try to take away? You're going to try to take away the inside, right? That quick slant.
First, yep.
Right, okay. But then you have to realize that if he is motioning in towards the offensive line and all the traffic, where is the most open part on the field going to be?
Flat. Pylon.
The flat.
Mm-hmm.
The flat.
Mm-hmm.
So he's more likely he's going to run a motion to whip route to get to the outside flat. And as quick as he is, you cannot run over and do a rainbow over the defender that is matched up with the guy on the line of scrimmage, correct?
That's what they want you to do. They want you to bow over.
Right, which is what our defensive back did, and we didn't switch. So I don't know if that was a blown coverage, if that was the guy that was going to do the rainbow, if he didn't see him stop and sprint his butt back out to the flat. But when they're both still close to the line of scrimmage and Zachariah Branch is over there at the freaking marker, just standing there wide open, you look around, you're like, oh my God.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what route it was.
How could you lose that guy?
I'll tell you what route it was, Dustin. So you had Branch coming short motion. He ran a flat route, and then the other guy ran a corner to the back pylon. And so the problem is you had a safety in the corner guarding two receivers. And anytime you have a receiver being guarded by a safety, in our world, in our room, the safety should be barbecue chicken. Is what Shaq would say. Barbecue chicken. And so that was Farouk, right? He was a safety. And I'm sorry, unless it's Eric Berry, unless it's like Earl Thomas back in his early days or Jamal Adams or somebody, usually receivers should win battles against safeties. And so you can see those two guys trying to communicate, trying to talk. Maybe they're trying to switch it. But obviously they misplayed it, and because they misplayed it, he was wide up. So that's what
right. And so I mean, there's so many things that go into, of course, us losing. And then I got to go back real quick if I have a second. I just, we get the defensive stop that we need, the turnover.
Mm-hmm.
We do go, I guess, what some would call conservative. I thought it was right. Whatever. You're getting ready. You get ready to kick. My thing is, let's get our offense. Like anytime Josh Heupel has a chance to have his offense on the last part of the game, that's what I want for our team. If you tell me that we've got our offense on the field and we're going for a game-winning drive, I'm going to take that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like our offense, I feel like he's going to scheme it up, and he did. He got us there. We got down there to do the field goal or whatever, to win the game. And of course, the only time like Saturday, the only time anybody knows the long snapper is if he shoots one over the guy's head or if he makes a diving play like he made Saturday. That kicker, that's his job. He's got to make it. But if you would have took 100 people out of that stadium and said, "Hey, make this kick with 100,000 sitting here," how many of them are going to make it? You know what I mean? So I've always said I hate to put it on a kicker. I really don't trust kickers, but he's got to do his job. And then I want to leave you with this. I'm going to ask you this question. I'll get off here. With this loss, of course, as fans, we all are still. We're still talking about today, like it was yesterday.
We
and
should.
Still
play UAB this week.
Right. The team's got to get over it. They've got to get ready to go play. But I thought that this was going to be a playoff team going into the year. I thought we could go 10-2. My question to you is, if this team can grow on this loss and continue to play, do you see us having that normal slip up that we've had in the past, Arkansas, or do you see them being strong enough to where they go handle their business, go maybe 10-2? I think they could go beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa. But how do you kind of feel like the vibe of the team? So how do you think that will go the rest of the year? And I appreciate your time this morning.
Hey Dustin. There's more leadership on this team than there's been in the last 2 years, in my opinion. I think this team has shown maturity, and they're able to use this loss and not take a step backwards. We saw maturity in the first game. We saw it in the second game with them handling business versus ETSU. And we saw them show some maturity in the Georgia game with them jumping up on top, Georgia responding, and then we responding back. So this team has showed maturity, I think, in all three games. And it's more likely than not that this team will be okay moving forward. But we'll see, man. Got to stay healthy and got to continue to build. Got to go back to the Lions, Stokes. We'll be able to talk one day. Good morning.
What's going on, Swain Event?
What's up, Buck Nasty?
I've never been more pissed and happy at the same time in my life. Maybe it's from age, Swain. Maybe I need to go to the low T center. Maybe I'm testosterone's a little depleted. Before I'd have went out and I'd have probably done some bad things to my neighbors in the neighborhood in years past. This year, I disagree with what Stokes said earlier.
What's that?
He said we were a good football team. We're not. We're an elite football team. You give me Jermod McCoy back, we win that game by 2 touchdowns. And I'm not piling on the freshman. I thought Redmond got beat on the double move a few times in that game. He'll learn from that. He's seen SEC speed for the first time in his life, and he shows me flashes of Cam Sutton, but he's just not there yet. As good as Brazel and Joey were in this game, I thought the pass pro from the offensive line was elite.
Correct.
Joey didn't get touched. He didn't get touched.
Correct.
I don't know. This Perry kid come out of nowhere? Hey, I mean, he's played good the last 2 weeks because I've watched him. I don't know how Sanders comes in and takes the spot. Just to be honest with you. Now, I haven't got to see Sanders in practice. Don't know nothing about it. Besides, he's number one, whatever. I do think Stokes is correct with Star Thomas is RB1.
Yep.
He's elite with the ball in his hands. I'd love to see him get the pass plays out of the backfield unless Bishop decides to put on some gloves.
He had him on. He had him on the game.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
He put him on.
But I thought Bishop, we can pile on him a little if we want. He did an elite job in pass protection for Joey. He took some shots from some linebackers, and he delivered some shots.
Yeah.
Mike Matthews, hard for me to pile on him. The only gripe I had with Mike in that game is on that pick, thrown into double coverage. I know he's trying to get the PI. I'd love to see him fight back for that ball just a little bit harder.
On Joey's first one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'd like to see Mike fight back for that ball a little bit more.
Okay.
But that being said, if that's not pass interference, the one on Colton Hood isn't either. And I'm not blaming this game on officiating, no kind of way. Did I think they missed some calls? Yes. But I thought they missed it a couple of ways on both sides of the football. I thought they made some bad decisions on some plays. I thought Boo had a game to forget, especially on the 4th and 3. You got to understand the situation, what the offense is trying to do there. I'd like to see him get his hands on that receiver, jam him up a little bit better there. Mm-hmm. Defensively, we didn't get home with the pressures when we dialed it up, but Caleb Herring had a football game.
Damn right.
He had a football game, and so did Joshua Josephs and Tyree West. They had football games. They came to play. I'm not saying the rest of the guys on the line didn't. I think we got eat up a little bit in the running game. I also think Georgia showed us some concepts they hadn't showed before or in a long time. Thought our linebackers had a game to forget. Mm-hmm. Their eyes got caught in the wrong spot several times. But that being said, we got a football team, boys. We got a football team.
Oh, for sure.
We have a hell of a football team. You have a Hendon Hooker offense with more defense is what you have with this team. The answers at the receiver has been answered, or the questions at the receiver has been answered. The question at the quarterback has been answered, and the question at the running back has been answered, along with the offensive line. This is an elite offensive team. Joey got his bell rung on that one play where he scrambled out.
Tried to cut.
I thought it lingered a little for him for a couple of plays, but you seen him bounce back. You know, Mike got his bell rung where the DB held him up. The safety had a free shot on him and took it. Mm-hmm. And he went to the tent right after that play, Swain.
Yeah, he came back out, right back out.
But he came back out, but he did go to the tent, though, correct?
Yeah.
They're going to check him for concussion on that one.
Yeah, all right.
That was a shot. It was a shot. It hurt my bones. You know what? I went inside and took some osteo Biflex after that shot. I mean, that one rattled me at home. But I'm proud of our boys.
Yeah, me too.
Coaching, I thought, was a B-. You see Redmond keep getting beat there. I like the idea of trying to rattle Stockton early in that game. But you got to give Georgia and their running backs and their offensive line credit. They picked it up. They did not get home with it. And after about 5 of those, I think it's time to settle in and just try to let Herring and Joseph Tochi a little in the pass game. That was really my only gripe on Banks. He was outmanned. It's not like, all right, we say that about Redmond. He 3-star recruit. Their 5-star freshman got eat up too. He got eat up on the outside.
Yeah.
And Brazel's is elite. Brazel is this year what we thought he should have been last year. The game is slowed for him, and he is a monster. Yep. He is a monster out there. And I'm like Swain and Stokes here. I'd love to see a few more shots with him towards the end of the game because he doesn't prove there ain't nobody on the damn field to cover him when he wants to go get it.
No, I'm with you, Buck Nasty, man. You made some really good points, my man. And it's good to hear from you. Good points. I would have liked to saw Brazel targeted a little bit more late in the game as well. I mean, he did such a good job getting you to that point, Stokes. I'm going to get to the Betty Chevrolet text box. Don't worry, Stokes. I got you, man.
Oh, no, you're good. We did have, 3-4 sacks in that game? I mean,
3 sacks. Yeah, we had more than Georgia. And I don't know the last time Tennessee has done that. The last time Tennessee won, Tennessee had more sacks than Georgia. Prior to Saturday's game, the last 4 years, Georgia's had 18 sacks to our 4 sacks. So that was my major key of the game. If you listen to the Vault Network broadcast right before the game, Ramon gave his key, Hubs gave his key, I gave my key. My key was getting to the quarterback sacks. And I feel like for us to have a chance to win, we would have to do a better job in that area. And we did. And we had a chance to win. So how about that?
Yep. Amazing how that works.
Amazing how that works. Is there any way Joey can get an extra year like Pavia? He has an extra year because of Pavia.
I think that's why he's here.
That's why he's here. Yeah. So, no, he can't get an extra year. He has an extra year because of Pavia. This is that year. Is something smoking in the background for Swain? Smoking in the background. No, sir. We ain't burning no incense up in here. Rodney wants to make some personnel changes in the secondary. Hey, the guys who are playing are the guys that the coaches feel good about and they trust. Like it or not. Chip Payne says, after Saturday's game, I have mixed feelings. I'm mad because we had the game on our hands and we let it slip away, and that hurts. But I'm also impressed that Tennessee went toe-to-toe with Georgia, the 5th best team in the country. The season's still ahead of us. Tremel says, should have been Star running that rock after the fumble. He is RB1. Listen, man, I think it's easy to say that now. I think if you are Darrell Sims, you have confidence in Star and Bishop that they can go in at any moment and do their thing. I think each one of them get 2 drives. The first 4, they split those 2 drives. There was a time when like all 3 guys you felt equal about them, but I think Star is your best back right now. He's able to make guys miss in space more. He's caught the ball better. He can pick up tough yards in the short yard situations a little bit better. It is what it is. So I wonder how the next time Tennessee plays an SEC team, how those reps will be distributed. I don't care about the UAB game, but the next time you play an SEC team, who's going to get those reps at running back?
Yeah, I think he's the more complete back on the team, more dangerous back. I think he's 1, Bishop's 2, and obviously Lewis is 3.
Yeah. Why is it that Gunnar Stockton played much better in pressure situations than he does when his own defense is in front of him? The more pressure Tennessee sent, the better he got. Quarterbacks like throwing the ball versus pressure, especially if it's blocked correctly, because it's less windows, and you can just throw it up and let your receiver make a play. So, I was a little surprised that we came after him first play of the game the way we did, but I get it because you need to get pressure on him, and because of the guys out on the front 4, it was going to be tough to rely on your front four to get pressure. Now, Heron did his thing. Joshua Joseph did his thing in that moment, but for the most part, like you needed more. Like you needed more pressure from your front four, and so it's not like you have a ton of options. You either get pressure from your front four, or you're bringing pressure from somewhere else. And if you're bringing pressure from somewhere else, you're going to be vulnerable in other areas. And so it's easy to sit here and go, man, come on, man, Redmond got beat once. Why are we putting him in that same position? Because you got to shake it off and make the next play. Like, you either playing man or you playing zone. There's no other coverage. And so if you're bringing pressure, you got to man up. And if you bring pressure and play in zone, I mean, it makes it even easier, I think, for Gunnar Stockton. So Redmond's going to be okay. He's going to bounce back. He's going to learn from this moment. But they certainly targeted him. I'm trying to get all these messages, Stokes.
Oh, you're good, man.
I'll make one more point, and then we'll go back to the phone about that sequence offensively after the fumble. You have to understand something. You're up 5. You threw 2 interceptions. You can't walk away with 0 points in that moment if you're Josh Heupel. At worst, you come away with 3, and you're up 2 scores, or you're up 1 score with the 2-point conversion. And you should feel good about your defense getting you a stop at some point.
And they had him in 4th and long.
Stokes, 2 third downs and a 4th down.
One of the third downs, was that the conversion where Stockton completed that ball while he was falling down? And I want to say it was a slant on a third down, and he was getting rocked as he completed the ball. Like, defense got to him. He just, and sometimes the other team just makes some dang good plays, as crappy as it is. And there were a couple times on that drive, including the touchdown, where you were just like, I don't know what else you could have done.
Stokes, you had a 3rd and 7 that Gunnar completed a short pass to the left to Dylan Bell. 3rd and 7, opportunity to get off the field. You had 3rd and 6 where Stockton hit Bell again.
I think that's the one where he was falling, like Stockton's falling to his left as the pressure gets to him, because our guys whooped the offensive line on that play, and Stockton got rid of it real fast as he's falling down, getting hit, and the receiver just, they made a play.
Well, on that one, it was a 0 game, because I want to say that is when Redmond came up and shed the block and made the tackle in space.
Okay, yep, that's not it. Okay.
But the next one is 4th and 6.
Mm-hmm.
4th and 6, and that was the Humphrey fade and man-to-man for a touchdown. Okay. So you had 3rd and 7, and you had a 4th and 6 that you didn't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't stop it. And so you had a 2nd and 12. You had a 2nd and 12. And then Gunnar Stockton was able to complete the ball for 17 yards. I think that was on a dig or something like that. But you had 2nd and 12. And so you've had opportunities to get out the field, and you just didn't. And the big plays for Tennessee allowed Tennessee to stay in that game. Because if you look at the stat sheet, and you would have told me that total play-wise, Georgia was going to be able to run all right, I'm getting to it. Total plays. Where are your total plays? There it is. 87 total plays to Tennessee 70. That favors Georgia, right? That's almost 20-plus plays that Tennessee's defense had to play. And I thought we were worn out in overtime, and that's why they were able to run the ball the way they were able to run the balls. But in the 4th quarter, they were able to run the ball very successfully, because we just allowed those long drives in the 2nd quarter, I thought it wore us down. All right, I'm going back to the phones. Good morning. Good morning. Going once. Let's try it again. Up. All right, call us back. Up. There's a call back. Good morning.
Swain, can you hear me, buddy?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hey, man. Good morning from Gaston, Alabama, man.
Yeah, good morning, man.
Swain, I tell you what, dude. I do not understand. I mean, look, there's no perfect game. There's no perfect scenario, game plan. I mean, there's, every loss. Sure, there's coaches that wish they could have things back or wish they could do things differently.
Yep.
We scored over 40 points on a Kirby Smart defense.
Yep.
We had a chance to win the game with a 40-yard field goal.
Yep.
I'm not, how many touchdown passes did Pavia have?
Pavia?
4? Or not call it Pavia. Jesus. Aguilar. I got to get
Well, he had 4 touchdowns all together. He had a running touchdown, but 4 altogether.
I mean, I just and the thing that impressed me about the game or about the game plan was, and I think this Brooks Austin guy was talking about this in that film review, is how our offense has evolved. I mean, this offense, Heupel has clearly evolved this offense.
He adjusted,
and with the concepts and everything like that, and it's not that he never could. He's clearly a very smart football coach. He's ran different offenses. He hasn't just run this Art Briles system his whole life.
Let me stop you right quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all can notice this, but Heupel will not call out or throw anybody else under the bus.
No.
When he was asked by Brent Hubbs in the post game in the locker room about the play selection there after the fumble, he could have said, "Hey man, we had a false start. We had dudes missing their blocks," because that's what happened. But instead, he was, "Hey, y'all want to call it conservative? Cool, I'll let y'all call it conservative." But when you watch the film, he made the right call. Dudes didn't execute. He could have said, "Hey man, our damn defense got to hold somebody. We up 8 points inside Neyland Stadium, the toughest place to play in college football, and we had zero pre-snap disruptions. It feels like. Maybe I missed them, but I didn't see a lot of false starts.
We didn't have any.
Yeah. So defense got to make a stop. We scored 40-plus points against Georgia. Heupel's not going to call folks out. My point is, the past 2 quarterbacks, there were some limitations that Heupel was trying to cover up. Honestly, you throw Hendon and Hooker in there too, because I thought Heupel did a good job of covering up some of his weaknesses as well. But Heupel won't throw those guys under the bus. But he feels better and able to do some things with Aguilar, which is why you're seeing throws every level of the defense, every level of the football field, horizontally, short, intermediate, deep. Every area of the football field is for the taking for play calling with Joey Aguilar. And I think that's something to point out as well. Heupel is not going to call out guys that can't execute. I think that's part of it, too, of why you didn't see it, in previous years.
Well, Swain, when you consider what this program was when he took over and what he's done in 4 years and where we're at, and you look at the X's and O's and the play calling ability, and you also look at what Joe Milton and Hendon Hooker and their trajectory was on before Heupel and then after Heupel, and you look at what Nico was before or with Heupel and now after Heupel, I truly believe, Swain, I don't know if you can truly name 10 better football coaches in college football than Josh Heupel. Maybe some better recruiters. I think Heupel was going to have maybe his best class ever since he's been at Tennessee this year, but just pure football, just being a football coach, development. I mean, he's pretty daggum good, man. I mean, I'm and some of the stuff I saw on Twitter was just, I mean, my God, I mean, it made my brain go numb.
It's idiotic, man. It's idiotic.
Yeah. Swain, you hang in there, brother.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate the phone call. Yeah, I mean, I saw some of that stuff, and I had to close the app, put my phone down. I was like, really? I mean, I'm watching the game. I got the best view in the house. I truly believe I do, because I can see everything from, a bird's eye view. And of course, I go back and look at it on TV, and I'm checking out the replay. But you see the whole picture where I sit, and I don't know how you try to throw it when you got too high safety, and after you turn the ball over a couple times, and you're trying to secure a field goal, the last thing you want to do is give up a sack, even though you did a pretty good job protecting him all day long. I mean, you don't want to have a play where you kick yourself out of field goal range, because then people are talking about that play caller in that way.
Right. Well, why didn't he just run it and kick the field goal?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, man, if guys execute, we're not here having this type of conversation, man. We're here celebrating. And then, I feel like our players had plenty of opportunities to execute, even though they played their butts off. They laid it on the line, and I'm proud of how they played. I'm just not a big fan of dumping everything on Heupel like he didn't put the guys in position to win the game, because he did.
No, and that's, people are tweeting through their emotions. I mean, I was one of them. I tweeted out Sunday that the play calling there after the fumble would haunt me forever. And it's mostly because we didn't throw the ball at least once. And I understand the too high safety thing, but like we both said, one pass in that situation, I think, would have been the way the passing game was clicking for you. I think that would have been okay. And I probably, if we don't complete it, I feel better about it than I did after the 3 runs and the field goal.
If he makes the field goal, we're good.
If we make the field goal, we're good. I mean, there's going to be people nitpicking it for sure anyways. Oh, well, we should have won by, 28 points or whatever. But still, if he makes the field goal, these conversations aren't happening. We're talking about Tennessee being a front runner for the national championship probably, and everybody is happy. And I would love to be having those conversations. And you know what? Tennessee is still likely a playoff team, which means they've got an opportunity to achieve every one of their goals outside of, and you might even get to beat Georgia this year. You might see them again, honestly.
Yeah, might play them again, man. Where Tennessee is right now, you have to continue to get better, and you can't drop off. We saw Alabama last year look like the best team in the country when they was beating up on Georgia, and they beat Georgia. Yep. And then Alabama proceeded to lose to Vanderbilt, and then lose to Oklahoma. Now, no shame Alabama losing to Tennessee, because Tennessee is just better than you, all right? But you lost to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. But we saw Alabama look like the best team in the country in the first half versus Georgia, and they still held on to win. And we know what Georgia did to us down there. So just because you look good against Georgia doesn't mean you're going to be a playoff team, but you look like a playoff team. Yes. Saturday. You just got to maintain. You got to continue to get better. You need some luck on your side with injuries. But you can't get complacent, can't get comfortable, and I know the coaches are not going to allow that. No. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. And we've been going hard for an hour. I think it's about time to take a little bit of a timeout. A little timeout, which we will do, and continue the conversation on the other side. 865-255-03. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Stay with us.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
You don't say.
Fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
When you are craving some quality barbecue, there's only one place to go. Dead End Barbecue. Dead End Barbecue has been featured on ESPN's Taste of the Town, the first barbecue restaurant on the SEC Network, CBS Sports, Headline News Tailgate Show, Amazon Prime's The Restaurant Comeback, Food Paradise, and named one of the top 100 barbecue restaurants in America. The search is over. Dead End Barbecue is located on 3621 Sutherland Avenue right here in Knoxville. You can even have it delivered right to your door through Chow Now. Visit their website at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Guys, this sports season, it's game on at Low T Center, the MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. Ready to tackle low energy and achieve your health goals like a pro? We've got the winning game plan with personalized TRT. Book a free consultation and automatically enter for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia or tickets to major sporting events. Female patients also eligible. For more information or to book an appointment, visit trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com.
Just because you can't call in doesn't mean that you have to sit on the sideline. Impact the show with a text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
What's up, Swain Event crew? Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. Fall sports can be a roller coaster ride for us fans. The excitement, drama, and passion will make us crazy sometimes. I can't manage the games, but I can help you manage your real estate needs while you're cheering on the Vols. Reach out at 865-694-5904 or contact me at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
All right, Stokes. What else is on your mind, man? What else stood out to you about that game? What else do you feel like you need to get off your chest to talk about?
Man, it's kind of one of those that are going to sting for a really long time. All I could hear at the end of that game was Denny Green, man. They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. That was running through my mind because we did. We let them off the hook. You jump on a team in your house, 21-7. You expect to win that ball game. You should win that ball game. You had them rattled, and they did a good job of bouncing back and settling themselves. And Tennessee did a good job of answering when Georgia punched back. And you know, I texted you kind of halfway through that game. It was like, hey, we're in the meat and potatoes of it now. Now we find out what this team's really made of, and it's made of some impressive stuff, honestly. Mm-hmm. And years past, Tennessee, that game's not close. Obviously, it's not close. We haven't been within 2 scores of Georgia in the last few seasons. You know, I'm proud of the guys for the effort. I think, as Heupel said, we're well beyond moral victories, but that doesn't mean there aren't positives you take away from the game, and there aren't things that you see in that game that give you a good optimistic feeling moving forward. Nothing in that game that happened to me isn't really fixable. Like, there's not a lot that I saw that was like, I mean, we can't do anything about that.
I mean, run defense because of you know, injuries.
Yeah, but if guys make some tackles in space, that looks a little bit better. There were some times where they were breaking, you know, they had some yards after contact. And I'm not talking about a D-line just getting a hand as the guy's running by him. I'm talking about your second and third level of defense coming down to make a tackle and just missing or not doing what they need to do. Again, credit Georgia. Georgia's recruited well, and it showed. That's when what Fulmer always said, it's not the X's and O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. There were times when Georgia's Jimmies and Joes are a little bit better than our Jimmies and Joes.
Yeah.
And that happens. But, you know, I'm really excited for the rest of the season. One thing that's confusing to me, and I want to preface this, in no way, shape, or form am I saying this is why Tennessee lost the game. Hear me when I say this. I am not saying this is why Tennessee lost the game. But it is surprising to me that in an entire half and overtime, of a highly competitive physical football game between two evenly matched teams that one team can play an entire 30 minutes plus and not get a single penalty.
It's impressive, ain't it?
That doesn't mean you're a better coached football team. It means there was some bad officiating.
That's impressive.
Again, that doesn't mean Tennessee lost that game because of the officials, but it's just weird. It's weird.
It's weird.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Tennessee lost that football game because of missed tackles, some blown coverages, a couple of turnovers, not taking advantage of some situations. That's why Tennessee lost that game, not because of the officials. But you can't sit there and say that if Tennessee wins that ball game and they do not get called for a single penalty and a half, that the other team, fans of the other team, wouldn't be saying, oh, it's real weird that Tennessee at home didn't get called for a single penalty in that half of football.
No, 100%. Do you know that Zachariah Branch scored the same touchdown the same exact way Saturday as he did the first game of the season versus Marshall?
They mentioned that in the broadcast.
It's like, y'all, we got to get off blocks. Like, we got to get off blocks better in the secondary. I mean, as simple as that.
Yep.
You can't let him go untouched like that. Like, and I said it all week long. You can't let Gunnar Stockton eat off of those passes to the perimeter and not have to throw the ball down the football field. You want him in the pocket, having to deal with the pressure, having to deal with trying to rate the defense and making accurate throws 25 yards, 18 yards down the football field. And we saw at times he was unable to do that. But when you let him get in rhythm and throw it to the sideline and receivers pick up 8, 9, 10, and then in this case, Zach Branch going for 36 yards. Like, they targeted him, I want to say, 5 times in the passing game in the first half, and then they gave him a handoff in a running game. But in the second half, they really didn't target him as much as I thought they would. And I was like, I don't know, what Mike Bobo doing? Probably the same questions I was asking about our play calling. Like, yo, y'all not going to target Chris Browser more and Branch more? Like, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. But, again, all in all, man, I'm ecstatic with Braylon Staley and Chris Browser, Mike Matthews. Kittelman was really good in the passing game. Man, Rodarius Jackson came in, made a catch, got blasted, held on to it. Very, very proud of the receiver core. And, for the last 2 years, man, y'all have been on me on this show. Ben has been on me. Y'all been trolling me, trying to get me to talk about the receivers, knowing damn well I ain't want to talk about them because they wasn't playing well. But, I'm proud of them. They were awesome.
Playing well now.
Yeah, they were awesome, man. So, kudos.
The Aguilar and receiver connection, man, it's a beauty to watch that passing game operate, especially at that first drive was precision.
Yep, it was.
I mean, when this thing is clicking like it can, it is a beautiful, beautiful offense to watch. I do want to give a shout out to Colton Hood, man. I know that the interception didn't count on a ticky-tack. Ticky-tack.
That was a play, wasn't it?
Defensive holding call.
That was a play.
The way he popped that ball out like it was a tip-off at the start of a basketball game and then went and got it, man, that was pretty. I like Hood a lot.
I do too, man.
He's a good football player.
He is really good. Corrigan Vall, shout out to Corrigan Vall, because on Josh and Swain weeks ago he called in with the Joey Swagular nickname, and I asked Joey on Sunday what he thought about the Joey Swagular nickname, and he approves it. He likes it. Nice. He has not heard it before. I was like, really? You haven't? No one ever called you that at App State or anywhere else? Like, no, man. Normally it's like Joey California, Joey Cool, something like that. But he's on board with Joey Swagular. So
he's earned that nickname.
Just thought everybody should know that, man. Dude, I'm more of a fan of Joey Aguilar, the human, the dude, than the quarterback. Yeah, man. I'm a big fan of Joey Aguilar. Big fan.
I mean, every interview I've seen of him, he seems like one of those salt of the earth kind of dudes.
He's sharp, man. So humble, gets
good.
it. He's sharp. Tennessee got lucky with him, man.
There's a reason the team plays as hard as they play for him.
That's what we needed. I mean, that when we were looking for a quarterback and Joey was going to be the guy, I said he needs to come in and have the same impact from a leadership standpoint as Diego Pavia. And he's done that. His personality is a little different, but he's had that same effect, that same impact. All right, let's go back to the phones, 865-255-03. Good morning.
Good morning, Jay Swizzle. Good morning, SEFF Self.
Self. Big Orange Mac.
Fellas, I'm trying to regain my composure. There's one thing that the Big Ragu said during the broadcast Saturday. Man, them DBs gonna have to step up and stick their face in the fan.
You talking about is that Ramon's nickname?
The Big Ragu, yes, sir.
I was like, hold on, ain't nobody big on a TV broadcast. Oh, you talking about my guy Ramon? Yeah.
Yeah, Ramon, the Big Ragu. During the broadcast, he said, them DBs gonna have to step up and put their fan in the face with everybody else. Put their face in the fan like everybody else step up on these run plays, man. Like you said, they got to get off in blocks and help on run support. I know they're young, but they're gonna have to get more physical.
That's right.
And now that the dust is settled, I'm thinking a little bit more clearly. I'm a little bit negative after the losses, just how I'm always is. But this is the first time that we put this many points on the Kirby Smart defense. Okay, we scored enough points to win the daggum football game. Yep. Unfortunately, missed field goal. That's something positive to hang your hat on. It's not a moral victory. I mean, if you want to, I know you just, it's a moral victory, bark, bark, bark. That's a moral victory, bark, bark. Call it whatever you want to. I just assume call it dog pound on them jokers anyway. But 41 points on the Kirby Smart defense. That's something you can hang your hat on for maybe on down the road. Hopefully, the good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, we'll see them jokers again. In maybe an SEC championship game or even in the playoffs. But I think, I know I said I tweeted out, if you want to close the gap with UGA, you got to beat them like you did Florida and Bama. It's still a little crack in the gate. Your dadgum cow gonna get out again, but you close that gate and shut it tight, and that dadgum bull won't get out again. So you got to beat them. You got to beat them. And with that gummit, we're there. But we're there. I believe in Coach Heupel. Yeah, you can go play. Hey, he wasn't aggressive enough after that strip sack, or like you said, Jay. Man, they didn't execute. There were some missed blocks. There, false start. That just didn't execute. If they execute, Heupel looks like a dadgum genius. Nobody's complaining.
He does.
But anyway, man, that's just my little silly 2 cents. Ben, brother, if you're listening, I'm praying for you every day. Like I said, them sliding them DM, brother, they always open if you and Mrs. McKee need anything. Jay Swizzle, SEFF Self, y'all have a great day and go Big Orange.
Hey, much love, man. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, that is, if they do execute on the 3 plays after the fumble, we are sitting here today bragging about how Tennessee was the more physical team and we're able to run it down Georgia's throat when it mattered. Which would have been a great thing to say. I still can't get over a false start coming after a change of possession,
bro.
in your own house,
bro. I'm going there. I'm getting ready to go right back to that.
Do it, brother.
I'm going right back to that.
Do it.
At home, you're on the side of the student section. They're quiet. You're at home. There's no reason to false start. We false start there. And you're still able to pick up a first down if your running back runs and it doesn't slip, and then if you didn't have a missed block on the second down. So I'm not putting all the blame on the false start, but I'm just going to share how that impacted the kicker, in my opinion. Last week against ETSU, Max Gilbert hit a 50-plus yard field goal, right? When he did that, the Knoxville residents had an opportunity to get 2 free cookies from Moonshine Cookie because he's a cookie monster through NIL deal. Max Gilbert was asked about that post-game. He said before he kicked it on the sideline, he was thinking about the cookies and kicking the field goal for the fans to get the cookies. And he said, I probably shouldn't have been thinking about it, but I did. And it was all cute. It was funny because he made it. He got everybody cookies. He's on the sideline. He's warming up during that drive. He's thinking about winning this game, kicking this game-winning field goal. It's first down and 10. You're having an idea of where you're gonna kick the ball from. And then the false start happens. You don't think that Max Gilbert thought to himself, damn, now it's further. You just gave him something else to think about with that false start. And then we had an opportunity on third down to move the ball back to the middle of the football field. I thought it was a great play call, considering it was you decided to run it, because the last thing you wanted to do was have a situation you had against Syracuse where you had this exchange fumbled. 2022 Alabama game that happened. We gave him a free touchdown. It happened in the Syracuse game. So if you're going to run that situation, I'm cool with direct snap to Joe Aguilar, letting him catch it, get to the middle of the football field, and pick up as many yards as possible. I'm cool with that. We have another false start on that one. So Hype was like, you know what, man? F it. Let's just kick it now. Let's just kick it. And what happened? Happened. So it goes back to me. At the end of the day, I'm with Brian Hunsucker. This game is about execution. Either you do or you don't. Our coach put this team in position to move the ball from our 25 to Georgia's 20 with seconds left to hit a walk-off field goal and put 41 on Kirby. Our fans need to put the game controller down because this is real sports and not EA Sports.
It's true.
Now, a point was brought up about not going for 2 after Staley's touchdown. I don't think in the moment, I didn't feel like that was necessary, because if you don't get it and then Georgia goes down and score and they go for 2, you lose. You go for the 1, you force Georgia to have to go 75 yards, score a touchdown, and go for an extra point. And go for a 2-point conversion. The bad thing is they did it. And so I can't look back and go, man, well, Hyper should have went for 2. No, players should have executed. They should have executed. And we wouldn't have been talking about what Hyper should have done with Braylon Staley's score. And Braylon Staley's score, man, let me just kudos to the offensive line, because I don't think people understand. Staley was lined up in a slot on the right side of the formation and caught the ball up the left sideline. It takes time for that play to develop. So kudos to the offensive line, man. Lance Hurd playing his ass off right now.
This is the most comfortable I've been with the Tennessee offensive line in several years.
Yeah.
Like they're playing really, really well.
They are, man. They are. All right, I'm trying to get everything in, man. This hour and a half, and it's tough. I'm over here talking fast. I got my mind's racing. I'm trying to get everything in here in the next 10 minutes.
False starts in your own house, just they bother me. You expect false starts from the opposition.
Do we have more false starts than Georgia's offensive line?
I don't think they got. Did they get called for a false start the entire game? I don't think that they did. I don't think they had a. I think they had maybe one alignment penalty pre-snap, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know that they had a false start. Which, because that was one of the knocks you've been seeing on Twitter is 2 games in a row now Georgia has not false started in Neyland.
I mean, must be good coaching, I guess.
Yeah, right. But even that, like, honestly, you shouldn't false start. You know the snap count. Like, it's the lack of flags in, like, once the ball is snapped.
The holding, like, you can't. I saw some holding on the. I think it was an overtime run. Like, you can't get to the edge like easy without somebody holding. Most of the time, there's a hold going on, and it definitely was. But
and there was like there's been a picture out there. There was a missed face mask that probably should have been called on Tennessee. Like, it was bad. It was not great on both sides. But I just don't see how you go a whole half of football without drawing at least one bit of laundry.
Yeah, but like when you think about the secondary, at the end of the day, our 2 starting corners, who I would say is the best duo in the league, didn't play.
Right.
And their starting receivers played.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I think the way this team is configured right now, we can play and maybe beat just about anybody as long as we don't shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah. Dustin Vol 71 says, which one drives you more crazy? Our D-line lining up all sides or us getting a false start? Lining up all sides, obviously. All you got to do is look over.
Right. You turn your head and the ref says back up a little bit, and you back up a little bit. Because false start's a little, unless it's just a blatant the snap's on 2 and you went on 1, because they're calling false start sometimes where you know the snap's coming on 2 or whatever, and as soon as you think that 2's coming, you start to move. They call that a false start. Like, that sucks. Yeah. Like that, because you're just trying to get a little bit of a the false starts that bother me are the ones where you go and ain't nobody else moved at all.
No, the worst false start, Stokes, is when there's literally no play. And all we're trying to do is draw the defense off. We don't have a play call, okay? We're going to call timeout. We're going to call timeout if they don't jump. And you false start. Those are the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the worst. It didn't happen in the game Saturday, but that's the worst start. That's the worst false start in football history right there.
Those are infuriating.
Yeah. That didn't happen Saturday. Just want to make sure people understand that. Oh, man. But, I feel terrible for the players, man, because they laid it on the line. They came up short, and it was right there for the taking. And, a few guys, just didn't make plays when they could have. And I just hope, because we've seen this in history over the last 10 years, especially with how everyone's tough on social media. I hope Max Gilbert didn't get a lot of crap because, he doesn't deserve all that crap. Now, should he have made it? Does he deserve criticism? He deserves criticism like someone missing a block or someone dropping a pass or someone throwing an interception or someone making a bad call. Like, you deserve to be criticized for not doing your job. But you don't deserve to be called out of your name and people, sending you mean, disrespectful stuff as if you were the reason why the team lost. I hope that did not happen, and I hope our players, put their arms around Max Gilbert and let him know that he did not cause them to lose, and he's going to have another opportunity. Tennessee's going to play some more tough teams. Oklahoma's going to be tough.
Oklahoma's going to be real tough.
Yeah, Alabama's going to be tough, and Florida's going to be tough. I don't care how they look right now. It doesn't look like that team is going to quit. They didn't on Billy Napier last year, and that game is going to be at home, and it's going to be a tough game. And there's going to be times when field goals will be needed to win football games. And so you want Matt Gilbert to be in the right mental space. So
they, I mean, if people are looking at it as he costs you the game, you've got to turn around and look at it and say, you know what? In overtime, he hit the exact same kick to put you ahead, and your defense lost you the game. Like, if you want to look at it like that, I hate that there's so many memes coming out of this with his face on it, because that poor boy looks scared to death.
I mean, he looks he a young looking dude. I mean,
he is, but the eyes were bugging. Like he just and I know that's kind of how that's just kind of how he looks a little bit.
That's kind of how he looks.
It's just kind of how he looks. But people who don't know that and they see the situation and see the camera shots and they're like, man, that, because all you see is everybody like, that kick was never going in. Look at how scared he looks. Yeah. People who know are like, it's just kind of that's just him. He just that's how his face is configured.
Yeah.
But I hate it for him. That's just it's a crappy deal.
It does. It sucks for him.
But he's got a chance to play hero at some point this season, and he'll do it. Yeah, I've got trust in him.
He will, man. I'm proud of this football team. I thought the coaching. Here's the thing, like, I think it's easy to point the finger at coaching and then lose sight that you're not even in that position without the good coaching that has been going on. Like, to even be in that position, you've had to have some good coaching to be in that position against the best coach in college football. It's like the criticism with the offense, right? And the lack of development in certain areas when it comes to going to the next level. Well, Hendon hasn't done this in the league. Well, does Hendon get to the league without Josh Heupel? Does Joe Milton get to the league without Josh Heupel? Does Joey Aguilar look that good without Josh Heupel? How has Nico looked without Josh Heupel? So, like, if you're going to make one point, you got to make the other point.
It's true. No, the coaching side of it, that did we play a little too much, man? That's my thing. I'm not a defensive guru by any stretch of the imagination. It just seemed like, I don't know. It's.
I would say no, Stokes,
okay,
because I've seen Tim Banks criticized because he wasn't playing enough man.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the game where you gotta win on the outside 1-on-1 because you're bringing pressure. And that's why Georgia has been so good over the years. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I made this point on Josh and Swain yesterday, and I was about to forget it, but I'm going to make it here. And thank you for reminding me. You don't even know what you did.
You're welcome.
But in the last 5 years, you can't name me more than 3 position groups in the entire college football landscape that has been better than the Georgia DBs. I'm going to name you some that's been on par, maybe slightly under, but on par. But I can't name 3 better position groups that have been better than the Georgia DBs. Number 1, Georgia defensive front, Ohio State's receivers, LSU receivers. In the last 5 years, those position groups on those teams have been elite. Georgia DBs in the last 5 years, you can go look at the guys in the league, you can go look at the production. There's not a group in college football in the last 5 years that has been better than the Georgia DBs. And look what that offense did to the Georgia DBs. The offensive line, Joey Aguilar, and our receivers. That's pretty damn remarkable. That's pretty damn impressive. I drink my hot tea, man. I can't be like Chris Fowler.
Now, let me ask you this. I wasn't at the game. On TV, and I think this is an ABC broadcast thing. The way they set up their natural sound mics and everything. No crowd sounds super loud on TV for ABC. But I've seen some criticism on Twitter about what the crowd noise was like, and people are like, it was a lot louder for Alabama in 22. Been to a lot louder games. It was kind of calm. It was tame. Was that the case? But then there's some other people who haven't really ever been to Neyland before talking about it being the loudest place they've ever been. But then you've got people who are at every game saying they were disappointed in the crowd. Now, I will say on TV, it looked amazing. Looked beautiful. Neyland, there's not a stadium that looks better than Neyland, especially during Checker Neyland, a big game like that. It's gorgeous. But from an atmosphere standpoint, what was that like?
So during the game, I had a headache, okay? Who cares, Swain? Well, I think that matters a little bit.
It matters.
I had a headache during the game. I didn't have it in the pregame, but I had it during the game because of the noise. I had to ask Helen for Tylenol. Shout out to Helen Vol Network. So I take some medicine during the game. I had a headache. Our windows are open, so we get a chance to, breathe in the fresh air and really hear everything. We had a caller on Josh and Swain at the end of the week last week that said the crowd noise is going to be the difference. And I just disagreed because I was like, no, the crowd noise is not going to be the difference. It's going to be a contributing factor. But what the players do in the game impacts the level of the noise of the crowd. Like, if you make plays and you give the crowd a reason to be loud, they're going to be loud. The reason why you have some people questioning the volume of the crowd is because that second quarter, Stokes.
We didn't give them a lot to cheer for.
The second quarter, man, they were running the ball, converting third downs. That's tough. That is tough for the crowd to push through that. Now, I will say this. I'm going to say this as nice as I possibly can. The numbers may be the same, but the crowd's not the same as it was a couple of years ago. You got a different level of fan up in there.
That's what I was afraid of.
You got a different level of fan up in there than maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And so the numbers were there, but I think that along with the second quarter not really giving the crowd a lot to be loud about, they should have still been loud. I mean, my goodness, you got the lead. Like, who cares? Like, who cares what Georgia's doing? You have the lead, and you're not getting blown out. You're in this football game. That's not a valid enough reason for me not to be louder in that moment, but I think that's the reason why.
Hey, those maxims go for the crowd, too. More steam.
Exactly. When I was sitting there, I thought it could have been louder based on what I experienced in other games. Like, I was comparing that game to 22. 22 was louder. If you are someone that's never been to the game, you think that's the loudest game you've ever been to. And it probably is, but it's not the loudest game inside Neyland Stadium in the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. Doing the Red Bull Run Championship on Friday, which was amazing and fun and really cool. Y'all saw your boy on College Game Day, emceeing the event. That was fun. That was awesome. But I was telling all the Red Bull guys, hey, man, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it, man. Y'all about to see something you've never experienced before. This is about to be an unbelievable experience. I'm sure they walked away going, oh, my gosh, man, it was loud. It's the loudest I've ever seen. But if they would have come to Alabama 22, they would have said the Alabama game was louder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's and I know this is definitely a conversation that's going to take more time and for another day, but just something to think about is like how, as an administration, do you balance the maximizing of the profits with the, continuing to have that feel and that level that Neyland has become known for, because at some point you kind of lose that balance a little bit. And it's going to get a little quiet because you have a different level, a different type of fan. Not that it's a bad it's not as bad that they're going to the game, but it's just different.
It's a different caliber, different level. I mean, I don't know if you can't do anything different because you gotta make money, man. You gotta make money. You gotta make money. It's the way that you're able to compete. You gotta make it. There's really no alternative option here. It's louder than every other place in college football. It's just not your best. Like 22 was the best. 2004 against Florida, 2006 versus Cal, like those were the loudest I've ever heard the stadium. 2015 Oklahoma, Saturday was loud, but it wasn't as loud as those games. But it was loud, and it's better than 99% of other stadiums around college football. But I don't think it lived up to Neyland's standard. It was like about 87% of Neyland's standard. Again, it's still impressive for folks who never experienced it before. But if you have experienced it, you would probably say the same thing. Like, it could have been louder.
I got you.
It could have been louder. Tremel says an outsider said it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. It was loud. But I'm not gonna sit here and lie and tell you that it was as loud as 22 Alabama, because it wasn't. But it was loud. It's real loud. Man, had me with a headache. Had my Apple Watch giving me notifications like, hey, 30 minutes more of this, you're gonna start losing your hearing. I mean, he was telling me. So it was loud, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't as loud as it was in 22.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's a really good question, and I was wondering when that was going to come up in conversation. I was prepared for you, Stokes.
I always got to be prepared. Head on a swivel.
Let's see if we missed anything else here in the text box. I want to make sure we get to the good stuff and get everybody in here if I can. Man, it was so awesome. If you saw my Instagram, what do they call that? I didn't post it. It's my story. Yeah, it's my story. So I put it on my store. I'm still learning how to.
Hey, man, we're old. We don't know what all this stuff is.
Yeah, man, my wife is all about Instagram and knows how to do that stuff, and I refuse to jump on Instagram when everybody else did, because I'm not a big selfie guy. Take a picture of myself, document everything with photos. I'm more of a live in the moment, and like I have to remind myself, oh, here's a good opportunity to capture the moment. Here's a opening of the T versus Georgia. College game day is here, and I'm in the booth, man. I got a great opportunity. So like, I took it, but like, I got to be better in those moments to capture the moment and post it on Instagram. But I did post a photo of Gerard Mayo and Al Wilson. And Gerard Mayo, I got a chance to talk to him for about 15, 20 minutes before the game on the sideline. It was the first time he was back in Neyland Stadium in 15 years. Dang. And it was so special for him. It was so special for all the people that were here when he was here, whether they were coaching or in administration or support staff, former teammates. It was so special for Mayo to get a chance to see and talk to Al Wilson, because that's who he looked up to when he played here. And I had to capture the moment, man. It was awesome. Man, it was good to see Coach Cutcliffe and talk to him. Coach Cutcliffe is a top human being. He's amazing. I love that dude, man. Man, he changed my life. So it was good to see him. Nelson from Jackson says, I'm super late. Did you already discuss the drive after the strip sack? I'll go back and listen. Yeah, Nelson, you missed it, bro. I don't know what you've been doing with your life this morning.
No, man, we forgot about it.
Yeah,
I don't even know what you're
you
talking
haven't been
about.
giving your all to the Swain event this morning. You need to get it together. But yeah, we hit that, man. We hit that. I have no problem with the play calling. I mean, the only thing I can say is, hey, maybe throw it to Brazzell, but Georgia was not going to let you throw the ball in the field. The Brazzell touchdown in the end zone, they were not going to let that happen again. they got caught in quarter coverage with a flat safeties, and Brazzell was able to run the post and get behind the safeties the same way as Staley running the post versus quarter coverage in the open field versus Syracuse. It's basically the same concept. And Georgia was not going to let that happen again, which is why you had to run the football. But you got to have dudes executing. You have to have guys not false starting. You have to have guys blocking who they supposed to be blocking. Everybody can do their job. And if one guy messes up in the running game, in the interior, it can cost you. Like, you can miss a block at wide receiver and still have a big game. But if you are in the trenches and every guy carries out their block and one guy messes up, it's the difference between a 5-yard gain and a no gain, a 3-yard gain versus an 8-yard gain. It is the difference, and that's what happened late in that football game. And you just can't make mistakes late. You just can't.
Yeah. And on that Brazzell touchdown, the safety bit hard on the underneath route. I mean, as soon as the crosser came down, that safety bit, I mean, he was like a missile.
That's the read. Yep.
And Brazzell had just toasted his man.
Yep.
Buttered him up,
yep.
burnt toast.
Yep.
Beautiful.
That's the high-low read, man, for the quarterback. The safety steps up. The receiver's job is to take care of the corner and get inside the corner and cross the corner's face towards the back line of the end zone. And that's the target for the quarterback. Throw it up high, let the receiver catch it above his eyes. It was a perfect executed play. But that was squatting safeties trying to stop the run. And Georgia said, you ain't doing that again. And they were back. That's why Heupel ran the football. So I need people to understand why we did it and understand that that was the right call on first and second down, and understand that the false start impacted play calling, and it was about executing. You see Josh Heupel's demeanor. He always is pretty calm and cool unless he's yelling at the refs because they missed a call or someone didn't do their job and the play was there to be made. That's why I feel like he reacted the way he did after that third down play.
And speaking of yelling at the refs, do you feel that Hype should kind of get in the ref's ear a little bit more than he does?
A little bit more. He always in the ref's ear to me.
I don't know, man. Saturday, and maybe he couldn't be in the ref's ear because Kirby was in the ref's ear the whole dang game. Every time they showed Kirby Smart on the sideline, he wasn't talking to nobody but the refs. I mean, the entire game, every time they show Kirby Smart on camera, he's jawing at an official.
Dude.
I don't know how the official was able to do his job the way Kirby was talking to him the whole time.
Well, you got to understand something. Heupel can't do too much of that on offense because he calls plays.
Right, he's calling plays.
Or whatever, whoever's calling plays. But
somebody calling plays.
Heupel calling plays.
He holding the sheet.
I'm not about to be going all up and down about this, about who calling plays. Heupel's involved in calling plays, so he can't spend too much time messing with the refs because he's thinking about the next play. Down in the distance, where the ball is placed, how the coverage is being played. He's talking to his coaches up top. So when Tennessee's on defense, Heupel can get in the ref's backside then, but he can't do too much of it when they're on offense because he has to stay, pretty locked in to what's going on. All right, man. I know we missed some stuff, and we'll get to it. You are out on Thursday. We'll get you back next week, possibly.
Yes, sir.
We may or may not have a special new guest here on the Swain Event to fill in for you on Thursday. So
nice.
I've talked it out and worked that out with that person, and it'll be a surprise. I will confirm with that person on Wednesday, but I think we're gonna be in for a good treat on Thursday. Not saying that this wasn't a treat, Stokes. I want you to understand that.
No. It's all good.
But it'll be.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, it'll be someone that we've never had on before, and someone that is plugged. So we'll have a good conversation about what Tennessee needs to do moving forward. I am proud of our football team. I'm proud of them. there's a lot of opportunities for this football team. And the leadership is on another level, and you can see it. Mm-hmm. You can see it. If you can't see it, holler back at me Thursday. We'll talk about it. But I can see the leadership being double times better than it was in the last 2 seasons. And that stuff matters. So, Stokes, my man, love you, appreciate you for filling in. Ben, if you listen, man, we love you. We still praying for you. And they almost tried to hook Ben up with a good birthday present. They almost tried. They almost got it. Well, they tried. They almost got it.
Yep.
We'll do it again on Thursday. Much love to everyone. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Jennifer Morris, if you're looking to sell, invest in real estate, you call Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty. Alpha Wildlife, if you are needing squirrels and raccoons and bats, you got issues there with wildlife, give the experts a call. AlphaWildlife.com is their website, serving multiple locations here in the Southeast. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Peace and love. We are out.